All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the 47th episode of The Get Down. My name is Kareem.
Gary W. here.
We are back after missing a week. I was on vacation. I was in Puerto Rico for the last week. And, besides shitty weather, it was nice to get away, tell all our DJs to not bother me. And
that's got to be nice to disconnect and actually travel again. Is that the first time you've really traveled? I mean, you came here, I think, once, right?
Nah, I mean, I've been to Charleston twice. I've been
That's
to
true.
you, Puerto Rico. I mean,
yeah,
it felt pretty normal other than wearing a mask the entire flight. But
I feel like, though, you came here and then you went to South Carolina, and like both of those, we really didn't do a lot of work here, actually, come to think of it.
Yeah, we didn't.
The South Carolina trip was definitely work related.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were DJing there. We shot a podcast there the other time.
Yeah.
We worked, and so.
Yeah, like it was me and my girl, and I wanted to really make sure that I got to spend time with her because she's really busy too with work and school and all this other stuff. So it was just a good time to be like, all right, I'm going to really shut it down, which is always very hard for me to do. And, you did a great job and the guys did a great job kind of covering for me and making sure that all the stuff that pops up every single week, no matter what, gets taken care of. So
it's a decent amount, especially we got a new account last week and then rushing to fill those gigs. But the guys really picked up the slack. Big shout to Carlo really helping out with a lot of stuff. And he was on vacation as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's summertime. People are starting to go away. It's kind of how it goes.
I mean, we never want to say no to anybody, right? So if somebody hits us up and it's like, yo, Kareem, Gary, we need a DJ tomorrow. Like, we're going to make that happen no matter what.
Yeah.
And now it's like not a DJ for tomorrow. It's like, I need 3 DJs for this weekend. And it's like, okay,
last week.
I know.
That's, kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
No,
but it's nice to be back and doing that.
Yeah.
It's, we keep saying that. Like, it's just so nice to have. These are great issues to have. So
yeah, just the number of bookings that we've had have just grown so quickly. Like, it really feels good. And like a lot of the stresses of the last 14 months are kind of subsiding and being replaced with other stresses. But
yeah,
that's okay.
But you keep reminding yourself that these are good problems, like you said.
100%.
So
anyway, yeah, something that we were talking about before we started recording, just like now that we are back to like really DJing, like all you guys have to realize, like, you're now really DJing again. This isn't like quarantine sit down DJ.
Right.
And there's a big difference between playing background music for people sitting down, eating dinner and having drinks, and people coming in there to rage and celebrate and get fucked up and have a good time.
So you said this earlier on in our conversation off air, but like you have to, we're back to building a night, right? Like we were having situations where there was 2-hour seatings or 3-hour seatings and reservations required. And you could kind of just go in and do whatever you wanted, right? Now you have to like plan your night out. You have to build. There's a starting point all the way up to kind of like all the way up to your peak hour. And then, what you're going to do after peak hour. And it's all got to be really planned out. You're actually DJing. A lot of these guys that kind of first started to get their taste during quarantine now have to kind of readjust their sets and how they handle their sets. So something else that popped into my mind, and I said this to UFO so earlier, is that like the like playing like the corny music to grab people's attention while they were sitting down during restrictions, like that's something that, first of all, it's annoying me, right? I feel like people are playing way too much of it, We all know where this came from, right? This was a DJ AM tactic that started back in like 05, 04, where he was like, did a little bar mitzvah DJ set in his club sets, right? That's how he just described it, I believe, at one point.
That's hilarious.
And it worked because like he would play like 30 seconds of a corny sing-along song, and then slam you over the head with some kind of like really dope track that had just come out or a classic or something like that.
Yeah.
This fucking Cotton Eye Joe bullshit that keeps getting played out, and YMCA, leave it at night, leave it at your 1989 wedding. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's just absolutely talentless. I think you're just like reaching. It was fine to garner a reaction from people that are sitting down. That's fine. I get it, because there was not a lot to read off of. So what you're going to do is you're going to play these tracks that people can have fun and sit down to, right? Well, no, now we're really DJing.
Yeah.
Knock it off. You know? And if you want to get in and you want to like do a little sing along thing, because I do it. I'm the king of doing this stuff, right? But I'm gonna play a Hall & Oates track and then like a Young Jock track. That's like one of my go-to staples.
Yeah.
You know, because that balance is there. I feel like there's not enough balance, and you know, not that it lacks creativity, but you have to make it creative. Now, we were saying though, like Angelo plays a lot of like that stuff, but he plays it like remixed.
Yeah.
You know, and it sounds good.
Yeah, I think everybody has a different style, right? So like
very much so.
It's that playing that style is so not my style. Like the farthest thing from it. Now, in the last couple of years, I've opened up to playing more open format and playing some fun, weird, different stuff that you wouldn't normally expect. But like you said, it'll be like a Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll into like 50 Cent or like something else that's not in that world.
Right. Like re-drums, things like that.
Right. But like the super corny stuff, like the I would never play type stuff, I'm never playing it. Like
Mambo number 5, get out of here, Dario. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, Dario.
You know, like that's not that YMCA and Cotton Eye Joe should never be played in a club ever.
I'm trying to think like Cupid Shuffle. Like I hate that shit.
Get at like leave that at the barbecue.
I agree.
I'm not trying to have it like in a nightclub setting. But
I agree.
This is our personal preference. Obviously, this isn't gospel here, but you know,
something that I've come to realize, especially in the last year, like I call it the white girl shit because it's like the Taylor Swifts and the weirdly like the that song Gloria and Gimme Gimme, like all these songs are popular again with young people, which is weird to me, but they like love it.
Do we know where or why?
I don't know where or why.
Because that's the one thing I was thinking. I'm like, why are those old disco, the ABBA tracks? Why are those big? Right.
You know what happens, I think, especially in like a market like Hoboken that's relatively small, like somebody starts playing it and the crowd goes crazy and they remember it and then they request it at the next place.
Yeah.
And then the DJ plays it and they're like, holy shit, this works. And then maybe they play it the next time and it's just like a snowball effect. It's like a DJ's / Hoboken thing, I feel like. I don't know.
I'm looking at my format fun folder. That's what I call like, that's my corny stuff. But like most of it's like, there's like Beat Breaker and Chachi remixes in here. There's Mac J, there's Rick Wonder. Like I'm okay with that stuff.
Yeah. I think you're right that if you want to use those vocals to grab some attention, get people singing or being into it, do it, but find cool, interesting ways to do it or find cool, interesting remixes to play. Right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm okay with it. I am okay with it because like I do it in every one of my sets. But, you know, yeah, it depends what you're bookending it with. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Playing that song, whatever it might be, the sing along is easy. That's the easy part. How are you setting it up and how are you getting out of it? Right.
And it's got to be quick.
And that's what makes it really good and effective. Like anybody could play the song. How are you going to get into it and get out of it?
Yeah.
And that's what AM was really, really good at. He was good at setting it up. And like I was telling one of like one of our younger guys that, and he was DJing and he was like, well, the manager came up and wants me to play like a bunch of hip hop and stuff. And I'm like, well, now you got to DJ. It's not just 128. People are sitting down, dinner music. Like you got to go.
I think that's the biggest thing that I've realized, honestly, is like, it's fucking go time again. And like, you can't walk into a room and play bangers at 9 o'clock for one party. Like you have to really set yourself up for success and build your crowd, play a bunch of genres, go up and down, see what works for that particular night in that particular venue. And like you said, you're now really DJing again. So I agree with you. Like a lot of the younger guys that have seen success during COVID, and listen, a lot of those guys are great DJs and can play anything.
Absolutely.
I think it's just realizing now, okay, I can't just play 128.
Right.
You can't do it for 4 hours.
Because people get bored.
Yeah.
It's different when you're sitting down and you're eating, and it's fine as like background music. But now I'm dancing and I heard 128 for 25 minutes. All right, I'm over it. Let's go to the next thing.
And not only that, people are not locked into one venue where I have a reservation where I have 3 hours to have fun here. I'm kind of stuck with whoever's DJing and whatever they're playing. Now people can leave and you're going to lose dance floors. And I think that's okay because people now do have the freedom to bounce around. They're going to do that. If I was going out on a Saturday, I'd want to hit 10 spots, no matter how good or bad the music was.
Yeah, you're going to see it regardless.
Don't get frustrated if you're losing some dance floors or things are clearing out. Like, just remember that people are now free again and can bounce around and are going to do that. So don't get frustrated.
Yeah. It's a balancing act. It's a balancing act anyway, regularly, right? Maintaining a dance floor. It's hard work.
Yeah.
It's really hard work. I'm really nervous about it this week because this is my first one back where people are going to be up and going. But I'm also excited about it because for me personally, it makes DJing easier.
Yeah, I agree. It's more fun. It's easier for people like you and I. It's just, you go back to your gut and like your intuition. And like, I don't even need to look at a dance floor to know if something's working. I could just feel it. You know?
Right.
So like, it's back to that again, which is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. You could kind of be almost, not to say to do this, but you can be like head down and go.
Yeah.
Because you're right. You sense it in the room when you're starting to go a little too far one way or the other. So looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I thought it was more stressful to DJ for No Dance Floor. It's something we talked about a lot, but I just felt like I wasn't doing my job.
Yeah.
And you do wind up playing like weird songs that you might not play in order to garner some kind of reaction from people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we all want the attention, right? I mean, that's what we are. We're attention whores. And that's why we do what we do, and when we don't feel like people are paying attention to us. We do things like that. Right. So
to be like, hey guys, don't forget about me kind of thing.
I'm still here, guys. Still here.
You know what else I was thinking about too? Cause like something that you and I have been dealing with for the last couple of weeks here, and we're going to be dealing with this week, is raising rates, right? Because everyone's back at 100%. And like, it's just time. We've been taking the hit and we've been helping out venues, and it's now time for the DJs to get what's rightfully theirs and get a fair, or, whatever their market rate is. And I think something that venues are going to realize real quick is that if you're a $200 venue and you want top tier talent, you ain't getting it. Like even mid tier talent, like you're just not going to get it. And the good DJs that can keep a room and bounce around and read the crowd are going to go play at the places that are paying 400 or higher, like that's it.
We might see a resurgence of that $400 to $600 DJ. I don't know if it'll ever get back to like that 800 when like the radio DJs are getting paid well.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
I don't know if we're ever going to see that, but I saw a post, I think it was Nervous Records on Instagram yesterday, and it was like New York City's back to being a 24-hour a day nightclub dance party.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, like I didn't realize that that's kind of what was going on. I knew that the energy in the city's crazy. I've been hearing it's nuts. Like Sasson was over at Hair of the Dog, I believe it was, one of our accounts, and they said like people outside on the street just rocking.
Yeah, like they were dancing to Sassen's music outside in the street, like just passing by and like
Right.
catching a vibe.
Right. Greg said he did a brunch yesterday in Brooklyn where like people are just dancing on the sidewalk. Like,
Yeah.
and then Nervous Records had this post and it was like their DJ playing inside and people like dancing outside. So like, I think entertainment is at such a premium right now. And we see it because like, you know, we need more DJs, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you know, and it's at such a premium that these venues need to realize that if they don't come up in price, they're going to just get bottom of the barrel DJs.
Right.
You know, they need to capitalize on this. There's so much energy and everybody's so like, this isn't something that happens in New York City in the summertime. It's usually pretty slow.
Yeah.
Same thing in Jersey, in certain parts of Jersey. And these owners really need to capitalize on the excitement that's being had right now. Not everybody's flocking to the shore, and those people who are staying up north are going out pretty hard, it seems. So, and not everybody's going out to Long Island. So, you know, they have to remember to put quality guys in to keep those people coming back all summer long.
Yeah. I think the venues are you're going to see the venues that value the DJ, and that's where the DJs are going to go. And like, that's where you're going to see crowds because you're going to have the better DJs in the places that are taking care of the DJ. So, you know,
it's back to almost, like I said, this kind of harkens back to like the not the old days, but like, you know, 6-7 years ago when talent was, places made sure that they had talented DJs and they really took care of their entertainment and cared about it. You know, I feel like we lost that a little bit. I think when like crowds started to dwindle in places, it's easy to cut the money from the entertainment. That's always how it goes. So like music and entertainment's always the first thing to go. But you know, it's back in full force. So let's pay up.
I think it's really nice to see the Beat Breakers and the Rick Wonders. Like Rick Wonder played Miami. His schedule this past weekend was ridiculous. It was, I think it was Miami, New York City, Charleston, New York City, or something. He had 3 flights this weekend for 3 of his 4 gigs. And I was like, man, it feels good to see these guys. Carlos Belange all over the place. Like the high-end talent is working again. And that to me signals a healthy entertainment scene.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of opportunity because a lot of the older high-end DJs started doing something else, you know?
Right. That's true.
So the guys that are talented and are in the game for a while are going to be in high demand.
Man. Yeah. Yeah.
Period. Like Gary, twice a month, not once a month. You might need to be up here.
No, I know. I've already talked about it. I'm going to be up twice in August. So I'm driving out. So that's for sure. But yeah, the scene up there is everybody, you know, I keep saying this. Everybody always thought that like we were wide open down here, you know, and that's not really, it was open, but I think because it was just kind of like steady open the way we have been, there wasn't an excitement about going back out and being maskless and all this stuff. Because we only dropped our mask mandate 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So
I'm so confused with the mask. I never know, like, can I walk in without a mask? Like, is it store by store? Is it like, if someone says you have to wear a mask and I don't wear a mask, like, am I going to get in trouble? Like, I just never I don't know what's going on. And then I travel and every place has a different rule. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the hell am I doing?
Yeah. So like, I know like the two supermarkets that I go to, they're like, it says vaccinated people can go maskless.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever.
I
didn't even mean to bring that up, but
okay.
It was something that I was like getting confused about.
It's really nice. You're right though. It's nice to see those guys come, the bigger guys be back. And it's also nice to talk to managers and have them be so excited about entertainment and have the need for good talent in their places.
Yeah,
And
I
like you
agree.
said, the places that don't realize that are the places that are gonna, they're gonna have empty bars.
And they're gonna
So.
ask the question, well, what, like, why is it so slow? It was so busy here. What happened?
Well, you're right.
I
Some of those sit down places should have been capitalizing super hard. Well, they were capitalizing super hard, but then they should have been figuring out how to get those asses back in the door after the reservation system went away. Because we all knew it was coming. And to think that people are gonna call up and make a reservation on a Saturday anymore
like, that's it. It's over.
It's over. Like, nobody wants to do that. I didn't want to do it when I came up last time. And,
I know. It was like it made me not want to go out. It stressed me out so much to not just be able to show up somewhere and go to dinner or go out. Like, I hated it so much. It made me not want to go anywhere.
Yeah. And I think that some of those places that were killing it took that for granted. And I don't think planned ahead.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting to see. Like, it's hard to tell here in our market because it's the summer, and our market generally was a lot slower in the summer than the rest of the year anyway. So it's like pandemic ends, Friday and Saturday nights are still really good, but it'll be interesting to see in the fall, like, is it going to go back to like crazy 1 p.m. to close busy venues? I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested though.
Yeah.
Like a Wicked Wolf, like, is that going to go back to having packed out Saturday afternoons every week again? I don't know.
Absolutely.
I would agree, because college football and NFL and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The staple places that were busy are going to be busy again. Yeah. But those places that usually weren't busy during the summer need to, like we keep saying here, just like they got to step it up, and like they really have to bring something to the table to get people in the door.
Yeah.
Whether that's entertainment or whatever, drink specials aren't doing it anymore, guys. Like, let's stop. Like, these managers need to get a little more creative with how they're going to get people in. We had Gavin on a couple months ago, and he was talking about all the innovative ways that they bring tech into their venues to keep the patron stimulated. And that's what it's all about. It's not about $3 vodka sodas. Like, it's 2021.
I think we were going to like a point where everything was super quick mixing in and out. You're not playing full songs. I feel like it's even worse now.
Really?
Like, it's even worse. Like, if I get to the second verse of a song, I'm like, man, I fucked up. Like, I should have got out of there, kind of thing.
Yeah,
maybe that's just me, but that's how I've been feeling lately. And I forget who I was talking to. Maybe Olive Oil I was talking to about this. But I was talking to some guys about this feeling, and they agreed with me. And I was like, yeah, it's weird.
This is interesting because last time I was in and I played a lot of long cuts. But for the fact that there's no dance floor or anything like that.
Yeah,
so like,
you're not doing that this weekend.
I know. I'm like thinking about how many records I'm going to run through. Oh God, you have to be running through hundreds in a set.
Last week, I walked into the Ashford on Saturday night. It was packed at 9 p.m. And the owner comes up to me and he goes, let's do some like throwback hip hop for the first like hour or two. And I was like, okay. And I literally, I must have I hit so many songs in the first 2 hours, and I had so much fun. And like, I almost felt like I went too hard too early, because by 11 o'clock it was peak. Like, it was like go time. Yeah. And normally that's not the case. Like, normally, your crowd is building at 11 for us, especially there.
Right. That's like pick it up time between 11 and 12. Start to build energy. Right.
But yeah, I played so many songs that night. It was crazy.
When you ask us to play like throwback hip hop, you can get an insane amount of music out of us. It's funny. I made a hip hop classics Spotify folder. 16 hours of music. I did this at work one day. Like, I was like sitting there just putting stuff. Check it out. It's crazy. Yeah. 16 hours. I don't know even know how many tracks are on there.
What's funny though, like your hip hop classics are going to be way different than a 21 to 25-year-old's hip hop classics.
Yeah, there's a lot of deep stuff in there. There's, you know, there's some back wall, big pun. There's some like back
Yeah.
wall, big L. There's some weird stuff on. There's even
Yeah.
some weird Nas tracks on there.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of 2010 stuff. Like it just seems to hit all the like Wayne and Drake stuff and like
Yeah,
that stuff really seems to be working well lately.
really. I don't even know if I have like a separate folder for that generation of stuff.
I started building out decade folders for my hip hop where I have like a 2000s and a 2010s.
Okay.
And then a newer folder for all the 20s or most recent stuff. And it's been helpful for me because, you know, we do come from a different generation. So like, it's good to have that stuff in a separate folder that you can go and hit if you want to.
Yeah. I need to do a little research on that and like really prep some stuff. Cause I definitely don't have a dedicated folder to all that.
Yeah.
So, and I have a dedicated folder for everything. It's gotten really bad where there's just folders on folders.
I feel like music, we could do a whole show on music organization because everybody does it differently. And I feel like everybody is always looking for like an easier, better way to organize music.
It's kind of funny. I want to go back to how I did it 10 years ago. Where
By year?
No, I did it by BPM and I would drag like what was hitting at the time.
Yeah.
Into each BPM, and I would set it up like 90 to 100, 100 to 110.
Yeah.
110 to 115, and then 115 to 120, because those always at that point seemed a little different. And then 120 up at the time was like Pitbull and Calvin Harris stuff like that. And it always really worked out nice because I can have two songs next to each other where it was like a Lil Wayne track, and then maybe right under it was like a Celia Cruz track that I might not play. And sometimes I'd throw them back to back and it would be like, okay, well, that was different. But just because they're sitting in the folder together. Whereas if I have Celia Cruz in a Latin folder and Lil Wayne in a hip hop folder, they're never going to get played back to back.
Right.
And that's why I liked doing it that way. So I kind of want to start building those back out. I still have them here, but if I go in there, it's going to be a set from 2010.
Right. I was just going to say, it's just old.
It's just going to be an old set. There's some DeVille stuff in here from many, many, many years ago. It's crazy. Danny Diggs, like, oh, this is just old. This is all just like 1 or like 5 years of DJing. So redo that. That'll be fun.
I wish I could like redo my entire crates. Like I wish I had one Serato that I could start fresh and just start building it out and still keep my old Serato so that like I could DJ off of that for the next 6 weeks until I build out my new folders.
Okay. I mean, I think you could start a new set of crates.
Yeah, that's what you'd have to do.
And keep them separate, right? So I still have those 80 to 90 and all that stuff. That's up top. And then all my other stuff's in alphabetical order. Guys, if you're a DJ, you're listening to this, I drop in the comments below on YouTube or on Instagram, go on our post for this. And I want to hear how you're organizing and what you guys are doing. I think it'll be interesting to see everybody's different perspective on how they handle their Serato.
Yeah, I've taken like bits and pieces from all different people that we've talked to. So you kind of just have to make it your own.
You got me into having like, okay, house, and then all the different subgenres of house.
Yeah.
Where I used to just have everything jumbled into one folder. So
I've even broken it down now to have like deeper house, like dance music, and then like EDM banger like big folders, and then do subgenres underneath each of those. And then at the top of all my folders, I have like the newest music that I've downloaded. Okay. So that if I want to go find some stuff or stuff that I just really want to play, I'll put it in that folder. But
you know what? I want to make, I don't know if you have a folder for this, but I want to make a folder of like, how would you like, it's funny. We were just talking about sing-alongs of sing-along house. Like I just like downloaded a Don't Stop Believin' like tech house track.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of a weird genre. So that can get thrown into like sing along house stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's enough of that stuff now. And that's what I'm saying, guys, about like not playing the original track like that. Like, you don't have to play the original Journey track. Like, go find a good remix of it.
Or make one.
Right. Somebody had commented, I think it was Alex, DJ Alex, that somebody had requested Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. And he's like, I'm not fucking playing that. He was like, and he told the girl, like, I'm not playing that. There's no way. Just because like you're having a bad time, like you're breaking up with somebody or something. this is what I'm dealing with right now. But I have a big room remix of that where like that would have worked out fine.
I have one as well. I think it goes into like Don't You Worry Child, or it's a Swedish House Mafia drop.
Yes.
And it actually works.
It does. And it hits. I've played it and it hits.
That's one of those songs where you start playing it and people look at you like, what the fuck is this? And then you're like, just give it 20 seconds.
Right. And that's the fun. That's where you can have fun with stuff like that, because that is a track that you get banged over the head after the drop.
You know what I like doing, especially in venues where like mic work is cool and I have a microphone. Like when I do one of those weird things, I'll literally get on the mic and just be like, yo, trust me, give it. Like, I got you. Trust me.
I could see you doing.
And then like it hits and people start going crazy and they're like, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I do it at Tally Ho all the time because I literally talk on the microphone like I'm hanging out in my basement.
That place might as well be, because it's just that kind of vibe in there. It's so much fun. Which I'm looking forward to seeing your set there on Thursday.
Yeah, so you're coming up this weekend. Talk about your lineup and where you're going to be. If you want to come hang out, say what's up to Gary. I know a lot of people have never met you. So like,
that's true.
If you're a newer get down, listener or someone that kind of has been out and about and recently met me, come meet Gary this weekend.
Yeah. So Thursday, I'm probably going to be hanging out at Tally Ho. Cream's playing. I'm getting right off the plane. I think I land at 10 p.m. and I'm going to come right from the airport. So I'll be hanging out that night. That'll be a good time. Friday, I'm going to be playing at 626, Jersey City's premier gay nightclub. Really, really good time down there. I have a crazy, crazy folder set up for Friday night. Really dug deep into like some stuff that I haven't played in a long time and just fun stuff that I can only get away with there. So if you guys are available, definitely come out for that. That's going to be unique. Definitely a lot of disco stuff. It's going to be good. Saturday afternoon, drag brunch, 626 again. And then I bounce back to an oldie but goodie. I'll be at South Street in Morristown on Saturday night.
Wow, you want to talk about a TBT?
Yeah, so just a little history, a little background. I played at a sister venue across the street from 04 to 08 called Dark Horse, and then which is now Laundromat. And then I opened up a place called Sona 13, which is now South Street. That was and played there from 08 until 2019, actually, a long time. So I'm actually going back there, getting the old crews coming back out. Everybody's got kids and shit now, so everybody's getting babysitters. That should be fun. And then Sunday at 80 River, which should be a good time. I know it's Father's Day. It's gonna be a tough day for people to come out, but we'll be hanging all day.
Yeah, I mean that'll be a good weekend, man. I think. I'm sure there'll be some other stuff happening in between. You're going to come down to DJs with me Friday for happy hour.
That'll be fun. I haven't been there. It's been years now. 3 years. That's usually, but I'm good for a one time a summer at DJs.
Yeah.
It's
where
just not.
Where am I this weekend? I don't even know where I'm at. Oh man, I came back from vacation and I literally was promoting the wrong venue for Saturday night. And I realized Saturday morning, like, or Saturday afternoon, I was like, oh shit, I'm not even supposed to be there.
Oh man.
Super shot. But
that's what happens. Vacation
let's
brain.
see. This week I have a Tally Ho Thursday. I have a private event Thursday afternoon. We're doing DJ's happy hour. I'm going to come hang out at 626 and Ashford Friday night after my set.
Yep.
Saturday, I'm back at Iron Bar for the first time since pandemic, which I've heard it's been madness over there. I'm very excited.
How funny is this? Is that You're back at Iron Bar, and I'm next door
Yeah.
at South Street, competing for business. Yep.
It's funny.
Competing for business. Here we are.
I don't even think about it like that. I just think about it as it's going to be 2 nights of great music, and more people are going to want to come out and stay out because the music's going to be good.
We might get some DJs out in the Morristown direction for Saturday if people start to know that we're both there.
Yeah. I'm playing an after hours Saturday night also, which I'm very excited about. Probably, I don't know where I'm going to go with that, but definitely like tech bass cream, I would guess.
I know I'm like thinking about it. Like, do I want to go play over there? I kind of do.
Yeah, of course you do.
Because I would get to play stuff that I never get to play. Well, I play a lot of Latin house, and that's kind of my style. If I had to pick one, Latin house would be it.
That would be what I would expect you to play if you were going to play something like that.
It's just, that's my thing. I kind of picked that up from I was a big Murillo guy back in the day.
Yeah.
And Roger Roger was a little bit like that, and then Oscar G, of course. I felt like Oscar G got played in Jersey though. They brought him up way too much. But his what was the place? Koyo Taco? That night, the set that he played that when we went for WMC 2 years ago. I've
seen him play a couple times in Miami, and it's definitely different from how he plays in New York.
What, does he play harder up here? Is it not as like experimental?
Yeah, I think he plays more of his style in Miami, where he comes up here and plays more for what he thinks would work better up here. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like his energy's always there in his set, but like I feel like it's a stepped up in Jersey. Whereas like I think he's especially at the taco joint, he's I think experimenting, trying out records.
Right. Well, he's got the percussionist there, so he can play more Latin house and like, that Miami vibe, which definitely works for the venue. Yeah. I haven't, in all actuality, I haven't heard him play up here in a number of years, so I can't even really speak to what he plays up here anymore.
Yeah, I'd like to get out to one of his shows.
Yeah. E-Rock brings him up and has him play at Headliner and Society and stuff like that. So he's definitely up here.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go check him out for sure.
Also, want to shout some Get Down birthdays out.
Yeah.
So we are recording this today on a Monday. So it's Angelo the Kid's birthday today. So big birthday shout to Angelo. Everybody go show him love for his birthday. Who else? Timmy Vu on Friday.
Timmy Vu.
Timmy's been helping us a lot behind the scenes. He's starting to get some more bookings with us as a DJ. So it's Timmy's birthday on Friday. So go shout him out, give him some birthday love. And then our boy Tone said his birthday next Monday. And Saturday, actually, the after hour party is kind of like his birthday party. So that's going to be fun. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of DJs out.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Super excited for that. So.
And haven't been to an after hours, like a true after hours in a long time. I think like one of the West 5 after hours is probably in Newark in some warehouse. That was one of my last ones.
Yeah, I mean the Newark after hours was always the move back then.
Yeah.
And of course the city. I mean, obviously, but in Jersey.
Yeah, but the city went by the wayside in the after hours. You got to remember, like. At one point, we were driving out to Brooklyn, and they were closing at 4:00.
Yeah,
5:00, which was kind of shitty, but the scene changes, has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
But
all right, I'll see you this weekend. I'm excited.
Yeah, 3 days. I'll be hanging out.
All right, guys. So thanks for listening to this episode. Like I said, Gary's gonna be up this weekend. I'm gonna be out and about. So come say what's up. Come hang out. And we'll talk to you guys next week. So thanks for listening to this episode. My name's Kareem.
Gary W.
Peace.
Peace, guys.